see there, Marquez spent the whole of FP4 yesterday running that hard front, hard rear tyre. He seemed to have settled on that as a race choice as far back as yesterday afternoon. And he could be potentially knocking Cal Crutchlow off top spot in this session. It's Crutchlow's 2:01.751 with just under 3.5 minutes remaining that still holds top spot.
Here he is into Luffield. He's the second of these two bikes, then into Woodcut Corner. Just unleash the power for this right-hander past those towering grandstands. It's an iconic venue for Grand Prix racing. Marquez crosses the line in third place at 2:01.803. So Crutchlow, Iannone, Marquez, Vinales, Rossi, Zarco, Dovizioso, Rins, Lorenzo and Petrucci. Other British riders, Sam Lowe's in 19th, Bradley Smith running in 20th, and Scott Redding in 13th place. And no laps recorded yet for Jonas Folger, who had a very big crash right at the start down at the Stowe corner.
Yeah, we should mention as well Aleix Espargaro, talking of injured riders. Now, Aleix Espargaro said he was only going to participate in this warm-up and then decided whether he was going to tackle the 20-lap British Grand Prix. Pinched rib ligament has been causing Aleix Espargaro some serious discomfort, in a lot of pain, and doubting whether he will be fit enough to start the race. He said yesterday he's never had an injury that has limited him so much on a motorcycle. In those fast change of direction through Maggots and Beckett's, he is really, really suffering, struggling to breathe at some point as his heart rate goes up. Aleix Espargaro, and looking at his lap time this morning, he's only done 3 laps declared fit enough, or certainly declaring himself fit enough to go for what will be a gruelling 20 laps.
You cannot think of anything more painful, more
chance of fighting for the top 6, so a big blow for him.
1 minute to go here in the sunshine at Silverstone. This is the morning warm-up, round 12 of the MotoGP World Championship. What a championship it's turning out to be. Round 12 of 18, and it's a British rider, Cal Crutchlow, that leads away, and he will start the front row of the race. The 20-lap race. 40 laps, that would tire them out a bit round here, wouldn't it? 20-lap race in the front row.
I think it's safe to say if it's a 40-lap race, Aleix Espargaro won't be starting. Well, he might start it, he won't be finishing it.
Not be finishing it, will
There is Aleix, actually. He is still circulating there. This is going to be his 4th lap of the session, and he's improving. A 2:02.769. These guys are tough. Some of the toughest human beings you'll ever wish to meet. They've got pain thresholds that just don't compute with mere mortals like ourselves, but he is in a lot of trouble, and it's going to be a physically demanding race. His brother, younger brother, Paul Espargaro, has been one of the outstanding riders of this weekend so far, Nick.
Certainly has. Really putting that KTM through its paces, is Paul Espargaro. Up into 10th place. Of course, they've been in the top 10. The last 2 races are with Paul Espargaro in Brno, and then Mika Kallio in the previous round in Austria. But a big, big crash yesterday for Paul Espargaro, and you're talking about his brother being tough.
Vinales, the best he can hope for in this session is 4th. There are good laps coming in as well throughout the field. Marc Marquez is on a charge. Aleix Espargaro is also on a really hot lap. Valentino Rossi's had a good run through the second sector, so Andrea Iannone stay at the top of the timesheets. Maybe a short-lived one. Will track Marquez through the final corner.
There is Marquez, could take over in the front. No, he's not.
Missed out.
It's close. 2:01.631. Iannone 2:01.622. That's how the race is going to be as well. Here is Aleix Espargaro.
Well, he's having no trouble getting the power to the ground this morning, Andrea Iannone, with that 2:01.622. Here is Aleix Espargaro. This should be firing him up into the top 10 quite comfortably. Over the line he comes. Yes, 7th, a 2:02.221. So that will be a good confidence and morale boost for the Spanish rider.
Valentino Rossi just had a lap time cut off. The track limit at turn 3. Dylan.
Yeah, guys, just to come in very quickly, I've just had news that nothing seriously wrong with Jonas Folger. It's just a bit wonky in the head, shall we say. They're going to keep him there under observation for another half hour, but has escaped any major injuries, which is some fantastic news.
That is fantastic news, because if you saw the crash, as Matt did quite brilliantly, picked it out, the bike landing on the top of the air fence.
Yeah, he's been
really would have feared the worst, wouldn't you?
Wonky in the head, he's been wonky in the belly as well this weekend. Tough British Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Look at that run by Marquez. The hard front, hard rear. He did the whole of FP4 yesterday using that tyre combination. I don't think there's any doubt whatsoever, with the temperature only going to increase later on, that Marc Marquez will be nailed on to come to the grid with the hard front, hard rear. He feels that that's going to give him the best chance of a victory in this 20-lap race. But Andrea Iannone, who's got an awful lot of work to do coming from 15th on the grid, but can he be the spanner in the works a little bit later on in the 20-lapper.
Well, there are the two men that we're really talking about, because in front of him is the man that rode the Suzuki last year, Maverick Vinales, who won the race. And here is Andrea Iannone, fastest in the morning warm-up on the Suzuki. I don't think we'd really penciled Suzuki into those result sheets at the end of a 20 laps.
It's going to be interesting.
Who knows?
Interesting to see how they move forward over the next few weeks. Suzuki, they've got a private test in Misano straight after the race. Iannone saying yesterday there's a truckload of parts coming over from Japan for that, and then they're testing as well in Aragon at the end of September, where there is yet more new parts in the pipeline as well. So you can't say that Suzuki are not trying their best to make Andrea Iannone more competitive and comfortable on that GSX-RR, and that will definitely be a bit of a lift for his confidence, which has been on the floor at times this year, topping that warm-up session. And he had a good long look at Maverick Vinales as well, didn't he? He spent quite a long time behind the Spanish rider.
Cal Crutchlow, third in qualifying, third in the morning warm-up.
He's been inside that top three pretty much every single session, has he, Crutchlow? He's had a really, really outstanding weekend so far. I think Cal, he's well up for this. He wants to give those British fans a home victory for the first time here at Silverstone.
I think it's 35 years we waited for a British rider to win a Premier Class Grand Prix, and now, is there a chance a British rider can win Premier Class at the British Grand Prix? Donington Park, Silverstone. It has never been done. Obviously, the last time was when the race was held, TT races, in the Isle of Man.
Yeah, I do get the feeling that Cal, not being in championship contention, he's not really that fussed about being a top independent team rider. I think he's about to revert into win it or bin it mode this afternoon.
It's a great opportunity for him. You've got to say, Marquez is going to be a very, very difficult man to beat, isn't he?
Well, on paper, it looks like Marquez and Crutchlow had the superior race pace, but you can never rule out the likes of Rossi and Vinales. Flag-to-flag bike swap being readied. Of course, it's a new system that was trialled this weekend, which does look like now, I think it will be implemented in the future. Been lengthy discussions in the Safety Commission after what happened in Brno a couple of weeks ago. Now you can see, look, they've got their own lollipop men as well, just to make sure that there is a safe release. That lollipop can't be raised until it's absolutely 100% sure that they can leave their second bike without any risk of contact with another rider or another team personnel.
I think Valentino Rossi's looked up in the sky and thought, we didn't practice flag to flag.
Exactly.
Anyway, he got a bang on the head, didn't he, last time round?
Yeah.
The lollipop man.
Yeah. Smacked on the box by a lollipop, yeah.
Maverick Vinales an awful lot happier than he has been of late. Of course, dominated those early races, but he slipped to third place in the World Championship. He won 3 Grand Prix this year. Loves Silverstone. Moto3 winner as well as the MotoGP winner here last year.
Well, there's his tactic.
Softer time.
Well, will his tactic be to run the soft and try and get away at the start of the race and then just stage manage it over the latter stages? There you go, nice big, nice leap from one bike to the other. It seems like everybody's favouring the twirl.
Yeah, they are.
Andrea Iannone doing the twirl as well. We saw it perfectly executed by Marc Marquez yesterday.
We've seen him twirling like that on the dance floor a few times, haven't we, Andrea Iannone?
Well, the way we're going, we could have a MotoGP version of Strictly Come Dancing at the moment.
Who would win that one? We daren't comment. Here he is, though, Andrea Iannone. There hasn't been many smiles in this part of the Suzuki garage. Not many smiles in any part of the Suzuki garage this season. But he's done a really good job, has the Italian. Because he's got it in there, hasn't he? He is a race winner. It's fabulous battles in the Moto2 days. Of course, he won the Austrian Grand Prix last year for Ducati. I think him and the team just need a confidence boost to push them on the right road. Is it going to happen today?
Yeah, it's hard to believe that we're coming into round 12 of the championship and Andrea Iannone is still chasing his first top 6 finish on the factory Suzuki.
Great shot. Turn 8 coming into the club complex through Vale. Rear wheel off the ground. Left foot out. Add a little bit of stability, because there ain't a lot of stability when your rear wheel's that high off the ground when you're braking hard, is there?
Yeah, that was a fast session as well. You look at the circuit record lap set 4 years ago by Danny Pedrosa, 2:01.941. The top 5 in that warm-up session inside the race lap record. I don't think Dani Pedrosa's 2013 lap record, 4 years old, is going to be in place for much longer based on what we've seen in that warm-up session.
Can they run that sort of pace, Dylan, for 20 laps? Oh, we've lost Dylan down in pit lane.
Oh, sorry, Nick, I was just being spoken to by someone else. What was the question?
I was going to say, can they run this sort of pace, which is really fast, in 20 laps?
I think maybe yes, because bear in mind when the race starts, I think it'll already start cooling down just a little bit more. And I mean, look, it's always tough, Nick. You know, it kind of depends on exactly how hard they're going to go in the first 5. You know, I think that's always one of the big things. But no, I think it'll be a good pace until the end.
Should be an absolutely superb 20-lap race. It's the 12th round of the championship, the 2/3 distance. We're at Silverstone. The sun is shining, and Valentino Rossi, who won the race here a couple of years ago in very different conditions, starts from the middle of the front row of the grid. He is making his 300th Premier Class Grand Prix appearance. That first win, 2000 British Grand Prix, Donington Park.
It was interesting there in the factory Ducati garage. You might have seen him in the black leather jacket, Claudio Domenicali, Ducati boss. Andrea Dovizioso's lucky mascot. The last 2 times Domenicali's been at the racetrack, Mugello and Barcelona. What happened? Andrea Dovizioso went on to win the race. So his lucky charms turned up again.
So all the talking, all the practice, all the warm-ups, it's over now. Next up, the race. But Andrea Iannone on that Suzuki leads the way in the warm-up. 2:01.622 for the Maniac.
Marc Marquez starts from pole position this afternoon, second with a 2:01.631. Just ahead of home crowd favourite Cal Crutchlow. 2016 British Grand Prix winner Maverick Vinales 4th. Then it was Rossi, Zarco, Aleix Espargaro, despite that nasty rib injury, 7th. Then Dovizioso, Rins, and Lorenzo, your top 10.
And Battista Petrucci, Paul Espargaro, Barbara, Scott Redding, former winner here in Moto2, Tito Rabat, and Dani Pedrosa, who's struggling big time over the bumps.
Carol Abraham, Jack Miller, Loris Baz, Sam Lowes and Bradley Smith. And then Jonas Folger, no time set for the German rider, who's having a continuing treatment in the Circuit Medical Centre. No serious injury, but an almightily fast crash on his outlap at the end of the Hanger Straight when he was braking into the Stowe corner.
And there's a yellow wagtail taking